YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Stevo'sAudacity. You back here with another video. What's happening? Okay, so this is probably part 3 of my worst job experience. Like I said, I'm about to make a series of this. I'm just coming off the gym, at the store, got some little stuff, whatever, little whatever. There's something to eat. You gotta recuperate. You break this body down, you gotta build it back up. And to build it back up, you gotta replenish it. You know what I mean? In the future, might start hitting some workout videos or something. You guys can work out. Get in that gym, boys. It's about to warm up. And ladies, get in the gym. It's warming up. You got that spring coming. Get them summer bodies. All right, but anyway, so I left off. Me and a partner, manager, right? He was doing little stuff around the office. It really be some days like we get all the work done, right? It was always we get our work done. But once the work was done, it would be some days like the last 3 hours we'd just be chilling, just sitting around, chopping it up, talking, cruising, right? It's crazy how fast things could turn so left off of like one event. And that's what I'm about to get into today. It's like, this was kind of like the turning point of the job, right? I know in the last videos I done said like a little bit of BS that happened within it, but this was like, okay, now I see where, because the whole time I'm questioning like, where is the bullshit at? It's coming somewhere, right? So this is the part where it was like, oh, here we go, right? Buckle up. Okay, so it comes to the point where, it's almost the holiday. It's Christmas time. They call it the fourth quarter, which is a stressful period for anybody who's in sales, any type of commissions. It ain't got to be this job I'm talking about. Any type of sales job, y'all probably worked at, like around the holidays or any type. I mean, even if you're working at like Amazon or the big companies, FedEx, UPS, whatever, around the holiday seasons or any type of like big sales, it gets stressful and the workload doubles, so while we're doing all of that, right, they're setting up, plus they got to decorate the office, whatever, make it more holiday theme and stuff. Something weird kind of happens. The big boss, the big guy, right? The big boss comes in with the other big boss, right? His big boss, right? So I got my boss in there, my boss's boss, and his boss's boss. If that makes sense, right? Just to talk to my boss. Both of them came in there just to talk to my boss. Okay, so they were sitting down talking, for a long time. Our boss was never clear on why they were showing up. He made it seem like they were showing up to check around the store, just to kind of get a feel and look at things, right? But it was a lot deeper than that. He just didn't want to tell us, which, I understand. We don't need to know everything. I mean, me personally, I like to know just enough to understand what I'm doing throughout the day, I mean, I have to know everything. As long as you give me my check, I'm ready to go home. I just get my check, go home. You know what I mean? Simple as that. But, yeah, they were sitting there talking. And I could hear little bits and pieces, but not clearly. So it seemed like after that day, they had that little meeting, I call it little. That was a big meeting, actually. They had that big meeting, right? Now, maybe let's say like a couple weeks go by, he stopped showing up. My boss completely stopped showing up, right? No, I take that back. We go on break, right? It's a little, maybe after the New Year's, I believe. Yeah, after New Year's, it's a little couple days off, whatever. We come back, he's a no-show. Our boss, what I'm talking about, is in a complete no-show. Everybody else is there. So we like, where is he at, right? The guy, only person who knew was the one assistant manager, the sales guy that worked under him, right? Even I think the credit guy kind of knew. He just didn't want to say nothing, but or he acted like he didn't. I don't know, but yeah, we knew one person knew, right? Because they were like this. They were super close the whole time. So like, oh, where is he at, right? Is he sick again? What's going on? He kind of telling us like, oh, he had this family emergency, got this going on, just kind of throwing everything out there. My partner looking like, huh? What? Guy was a terrible liar, which didn't make sense, because how is you so good at sales, but you a terrible liar? But, okay. After a while, it's like, you can't BS us for too long, right? So eventually he came on and told us, like, hey, look, we're getting a new boss. I'm like, wow. So, and instead of him, it's a woman, right? So, which I knew who it was. I spoke to her a couple of times because we go to different stores. So when I go to a different store, I like interacting with certain people. Well, I ain't gonna say certain people. Whoever I can interact with, I like interacting with different people at the store, at least early on, just to kind of get the feel and get to know people, social. Work on your social skills. But, yeah, he's like, yeah, you're getting a new boss, right? Then he finally came out and told us, like, oh, what they did was they closed down. He been wanting to leave, right? He wanted to leave, and he wasn't happy. So all that time we spent joking around, laughing, see him smiling, the little outfit I said he put on, the little whatever, all that time he spent, right? And then the fact that he was kind of so lenient on a lot of things wasn't because he was just cool. It was literally because he didn't care. Should have been obvious, should have been known, like, oh, okay, obviously ain't no boss act like this, right? Unless it's for a reason, and it was, right? So yeah, all that was because it was kind of like he gave up on the job, more so, rather than we thinking he was the coolest person we've ever worked for. Whole time he just gave up, right? Because the thing is, he wanted more money, he wanted a bigger store, and he was ready to leave this entire company itself if they didn't give him that. And the guy was really good with people. I wouldn't say he was the best at his job. I don't know. I guess he was good at the job, but he was even better with people. And that is what is super valuable at this job. This guy had people that they only wanted to work with him, only wanted to speak with him. They wasn't speaking to nobody else unless he was there, right? True loyalty. How do you pull out of somebody that you make him pay, right? How do you pull out of a customers? Say, I love this guy, he's super cool. I'll be back again, a lot of comments like that. All right, so they couldn't afford to lose this guy, so they had to give him the deal. So it just kind of worked out where, unfortunately, to give him that, they closed down another store. And the problem with closing down a store, right, besides all the money issues and stuff, is they got customers over there, furniture over there, employees over there, right? And they don't want to just fire everybody. So the solution was to combine stores, and make him the head of the store, right? So it's kind of like a merging two stores in one mega store, I guess you would call it, merging, put two stores together and have him in charge of that. That way it makes him, keeps him happy, keeps him there, gets some more money. You know, they can solve the problem of keeping these customers that have been paying on their furniture at that location. Put it all together in one. You get the picture. The manager over there that basically got the short end of the stick, pretty much demoted, got sent to us, right? Temporarily till they find somewhere to put him. Then we got a new guy that came in because the other guy that worked for the credit that actually worked there, that I started with, he just ended up disappearing, right? They said it was surgery or health issues, whatever. It was saying like 5 or 6 different things about the guy. I'll just say he disappeared, right? Maybe he didn't want to work without the guy being there. I don't know. We'll never know. I've never seen him do it again. I seen him one time after that last day. We found out our boss actually left and never seen him again, right? So you can kind of infer with that whatever you will. But yeah, so the problem, and also the other problem was, right, the new location they was gonna move to. So there was literally 2 other bosses or managers that was affected by this. So one got demoted and the other one was kind of out of commission, whatever. I don't know. They said surgery, whatever. She couldn't work, right? We just found out she was gonna be our new boss, like I just said. So now the thing that was messed up about this was the same person that was promoted from our store. So it's like, okay, you finally got your own store, you built everything up, right? From the ground up. You didn't put blood, sweat, and tears in the store. And they just move you in the blink of an eye and put somebody else in your position. Right? Granted, you wasn't working for about a month, obviously, for serious reasons, but you come back, it's like, what the hell? So I imagine, so after the switch, we basically was kind of waiting on her to show up, right? So most of that time was spent prepping for her arrival, trying to work at the same time. Basically the assistant managers wanted the store to look good and in proper shape before she showed up. So, the weird part was like, why you couldn't just tell us he was leaving, I mean, if you worry about us having mixed feelings or leaving the job or quitting or something because you quitting, it's like, we still could have quit anyway. I don't understand why you wouldn't tell us. I don't know, maybe you guys can help me out on that. I don't know, that was weird to me. I'm like, we grown adults, like, just tell us if you're about to leave a store, just tell us you're about to leave. You know what I mean? That's the problem with people that work there. It was always secretive, hiding something, some type of gossip, something going on, right? Loads, like, just shit that didn't make sense. So, okay, fast forward. So she shows up, right? My partner there. Now, when she showed up, she kind of get a feel of us. Now, we were kind of used to how things were ran with the old boss, right? You know how you kind of got certain routines and habits you set up during the day? Well, imagine somebody else comes in and just changes everything completely. Right? Well, I wouldn't say completely, but just enough to where it's like, damn, okay. It change the whole experience of the job, right? And to be quite honest, kind of makes it a little more difficult. Like, I mean, the old one, at least he kind of helped us a little bit on some stuff. And, you know, I mean, just off the fact that he was a guy, you know, he could help move, he could help lift stuff and this. And then you got this woman, you don't expect a woman to lift nothing. I mean, she shouldn't anyway, right? So, okay. You know, so, I mean, I was one of the people, maybe I was out of line, you could say, but, I mean, I was trying to tell her, like, hey, you know, we used to do it like this and that, and, she, you know, she's like, yeah, I'm going to do it my way. So, I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Oh, excuse me, you know? Yeah, it kind of came in with the, you know, little prove something. I mean, I guess that is how you do it. You know, you don't want people to think they can run over you. You know, I'm trying to get a feel of us. We trying to get a feel of you. You know what I mean? You got to show your presence. I guess is what she was doing. So I was like, you know, so I was just kind of saying to my partner here, because he was the one mainly getting pissed off. Like, hey, man, maybe you just, you know, wait till things kind of calm down. You know, she's trying to, I basically said, like, I know what she's doing. She's trying to show, like, she's trying to, show, like I said, show her presence a little bit. You know what I mean? It'll probably phase off and she'll calm down a little bit. Cause he ready to walk out that door as soon as she stepped in. Day number 1 and 2. You know, he talking about, oh, indeed. You know, not cause she a woman, right? We're not against women, right? We love women. Not cause she a woman. If she was a man, it'd be the same thing. Probably worse. But it's just cause it's like it's a lot of stuff, a lot of ways you can handle stuff that you don't have to. You know, you really like if you got workers that know their job, they know how to do it, they do it, they're gonna get it done. There's no reason to be extra about certain stuff, you know. Or just paranoid or just, you know, we gotta let you know everything about this and that, right? I'm not trying to bash her, you know what I mean? It's all love, you know, shout out, you know what I mean? We actually ended up getting along in the future, but fortunately for him, things didn't happen good that way. So, but long story short, with that, it kind of got a little tense, you know what I mean? Because how you start is how you finish, right? First impressions is everything. So some of us couldn't shake her first impression, you know. But me, unfortunately, but luckily for me, that wasn't my first impression of her when I met her. You know, it was like, okay, you know, I knew she was a cool for real. So all I needed to do was kind of have a talk with her. So that's what I was going to do. But she ended up, the crazy part, she ended up talking to me, you know, about how she wanted things to go and run, you know, and she didn't want no, like, little attitudes, this drama, which, I mean, it wasn't really, it was that, I ain't even gonna lie, it was that, because it's like, but it was more so about the, not really towards her though, it was more so like the situation, like, we thinking like, oh, you know, it was gravy. We was on a gravy train, just chilling at the job. You know what I mean? But we still got to work done. But just, you know, it was a relaxed. Sometimes it got tense, right? It got tense when it needed to, but it wasn't extremely stressful of the job, right? There were moments where it was downtime. You know, it's a tiring job. It's very physical, so you know what I mean. It was. Didn't even feel like work sometimes. Just very chill sometimes, right? It's nice to be chill at work. You know, we're there all damn day. But yeah, we basically had to talk, whatever, cool. So I was, I was like, okay, you know what I mean? I'm like, so she kind of showed what I was talking about. Like, okay, yeah, she's actually a very chill person, right? But she wants to win, she wants to succeed, make it first, and I get that. The problem was, though, I'll tell you the problem after this too. Like, the problem with that, right? Everything about that was good. It's just like before she even got there, we were working under the assistant manager, which had us ready to leave already. We waiting on her to kind of, I don't know, see if things had changed or mixed up. She kind of came in on a little bit of the same tip, so it really just sent us over the edge, especially my partner, for real. With me, it's about the money. As long as you ain't messing up my money, I really don't give a shit. So, I had that talk with her. I told my homie, hey, bro, we good, I just talked to her, boom, boom, boom. He like, all right, bet, you know what I mean? He said, okay, because he was about to leave. I was really trying to get him to stay, for real. I'm like, hey, bro, we good. I had that talk with her, boom, boom, boom. But the talk was between me and her. He wasn't there. But she spoke on him too. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So it made sense to go tell him, like, yo, we good. Bruh. He comes to work the next day, right? As soon as he comes to work, she slaps her right up on him. Yeah, I had to pause on that one. She slaps, yeah. Not for good reason, though. Nah, it was a reason, right? She didn't want to, I believe that. But it's like, damn, the fact I was hyping her up, and then she go and do that. Because she kind of pulled me aside, like, yo, I want to talk. And then she put out this paper and it said, boom. And that's the end of the video. Stay up, stay woke, and stay moving. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.